Yeah. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I am going to record it. Don't forget. So then I can send you the link afterwards. So if you've got anything that you missed, you can have a look afterwards. Okay. So the reading and use of English are together. Today, we are only going to look at the use of English. So the reading and use of English is these 7 sections. But look at these 7 sections. Which of these are use of English? Do you think? Which of these questions are the use of English? Yeah.
Could it be
Anything
number
else?
4?
Yeah. Yeah, there's more than one section. 3, 4. Anything else? I'm going to tell you. Okay, so the use of English is all of this. Parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Leonella, you're almost there, yeah. Parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 5, 6, and 7 we will look at next week. These are the reading, right? So 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is the use of English. But to do all of what we're going to look at today, plus the reading, you only have an hour and 15. I think this paper is a challenge in terms of the time. Yeah, and we'll talk a bit more about that next week. But certainly you have to be quick, especially with the reading. People take a long time with the reading. So today we're only going to be looking at these: part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Now this is what we're going to be looking at today. So this is the use of English. So a modified close text. A close just means a gap fill, right? So this is a gap fill. You can see this is about reality TV. Everybody, I want you just to read this quickly. Don't worry about the gaps yet. Read it quickly and tell me what is the writer's opinion of reality TV? What is the writer's opinion? Do they like reality TV or not? What do they think about reality TV? Yeah, you can write an answer in the chat if you want. What do they think about it? Do they like reality TV? Do they not like it? Do they accept it?
I think that it says that reality TV it's supposed to be educational, but sometimes are really unrealistic. So it could be unreasonable sometimes. So I believe that even if you don't like to watch, you think that reality TV is not useful, you secretly watch. So at the end, you are giving to yourself those information that you consider that is not really good.
Yeah.
So I think that reality TV is not really reality, but at the end is a kind of life.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the writer is saying, no? That even if we don't like it, we have to kind of accept it. And probably we've all even if we say we don't like it, we've probably watched some reality TV at some point in our life. I mean, many shows now are reality TV. I mean, yeah, so there's lots of things about reality TV. Okay, now in this part of the test, as I said, you have a gap fill, but you have a choice of words. Yeah, this is what you're given. So you have to choose. I'm going to send you this, guys, in the chat. I'm going to send you a PDF which has got all of the, hang on a minute, it's got everything that we're going to use today. Yeah, so can you just open the PDF that I've just sent in the chat? Yeah, this is what I've just sent in the chat. If you just open that, guys, you can see. Go to the page 1, obviously. Go to the very first page. Yeah, can you all see that, guys?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. Okay, so please, you can have a look there, or it's also on my screen. Okay, so today we're going to be doing as many of the activities from the PDF as we can. So there's 4 parts to the test, and I've got 2 practice activities for each part of the test. So I want you to have a look at this. So in this part of the test, it's looking at grammar, but also probably mostly vocabulary, you know? So if you look at number 1, so read it first. No, so right now the viewing figures for such shows are among the highest around. After all, most television channels are dependent on the money they make from advertising, and the more popular the show, the more the more advertising revenue it can generate. So it would be unreasonable to television programmers not to exploit this. What do you think is the correct answer? What would it be unreasonable to what? You can write an answer in the chat if you want to number 1.
Expect. Yes.
Yeah, it would be unreasonable to expect. Exactly. Yes, some people are writing that in the chat. Okay, so we need to. All right, so unreasonable to expect. Yeah, sometimes it's just about collocations, you know, words that go together. You know, sometimes it's about differences in meaning. Sometimes it's because of grammatical clues as well. Yeah, but here it's unreasonable to expect. I mean, it's in terms of the vocabulary. No, we're not going to predict programmers not to exploit this, and it doesn't fit. No, yeah. So it would be unreasonable to expect. Unreasonable to expect television programmers not to exploit this. After all, they are only giving. So here, these words are all kind of similar. Spectators, observers, supporters, viewers. But they have a slight difference in meaning. They have a very slight difference in meaning. Again, so number 2, I'm going to write a number 2 in the chat. So number 2, oh, I've already got some answers in the chat. If anybody else wants to write an answer in the chat. What do we call people who watch television? Spectators, observers, supporters, or viewers? What do we call them?
Viewers.
Yeah, so I'm getting these answers in the chat. Many people are putting that in the chat. Yes, we call them viewers, people who watch television. So these words are kind of similar, no? Spectators, where do we find spectators? Because spectators also watch something. Okay, yeah, maybe
in a theater.
Okay, yeah, in a theater, maybe at a concert. Also, sorry?
In the stadium.
In the stadium. I was
Yes,
going to say maybe
maybe.
a sports event, we have spectators. Absolutely. Yeah. Supporters is also at a sports event, could also be in a political event as well. And observers, I mean, that's again, you could have political observers, you could have observers in your classroom. Yeah. So these words, they all mean people who watch something, but it's about collocation. Viewers, we have television viewers. Okay. So these are things we need to watch out for now. I put number 3. Yeah, put some answers in the chat. What do you think?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, those people who are writing in the chat, correct. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to watch. Again, this is just kind of very, very small differences in vocabulary. I mean, we would never, it's attractive to watch. No, glamorous, definitely not. Breathtaking, no. I mean, something that is breathtaking might be a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset or a beautiful scenery. Glamorous would be, something very elegant. Yeah, so here it's fascinating to watch how people react in certain situations, even if these are slightly unrealistic. It's supposed to be reality TV, no? Even if this is slightly unrealistic. Reality television is educational in that it teaches us something about human. This is a collocation. Human. A collocation, human, words that go together. Okay, see people, everybody who was in the chat is putting nature or B. Is B nature, B's nature? Yeah, human nature. So again, collocations, words that go together. Collocations, human nature. Yeah, good. Ultimately, if we believe in, so this is a set phrase. Sorry, I just read number 5. Number 5, this is a set phrase. Number 5. If we believe in something of speech, what's the set phrase? Independence of speech, democracy of speech, freedom of speech, expression of speech. Okay, again, I'm getting some answers in the chat here. Anybody else? Okay, almost everybody is freedom. Oh, no. Okay, so it's freedom. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. So this is the set phrase, freedom of speech. We could say freedom of expression, but not expression of speech. Yeah, freedom of speech, freedom of expression is possible. Democracy and independence.
Bella, pero usted hizo los cambios porque Amanda me dijo que ha habido varios cambios en el examen de sexto.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to mute you, whoever you are. Who's
Para de sacar lo mínimo porque...
Monica. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. All
okay,
right.
number, please.
No. No, I'm just muting you because you were, I think we could hear you speaking. That was all.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Okay, freedom of speech. Okay, number 6. Number 6. Let's have a look at number 6. So here, it's also worth considering that if these kinds of shows fail to okay, yeah. So again, exactly. Yeah, again, you are all correct. So again, this is talking about wait. Number 6, no? Number 6, we're on number 6. Number 6 is attract. Yes, number 6, yeah. I know, just getting a few different answers. So they fail to attract, you attract an audience, yeah? You would host a show. I mean, you can welcome people and invite people, but you would attract an audience in this context because they're trying to get viewers. Yeah, so it attract an audience. Okay, and they will be removed from the airways, though we can't ignore the fact that they're number seven. Let me just write in the chat number 7. Okay, number 7 correct is popularity. Good. If people put that in the chat, no popularity. And finally, number 8 is this is a set phrase. At some, I don't know whether, so number 8 from here, I don't know what you were putting there. So some people have secretly watched them at some or another. Some. Yes, Antonio. Yeah, Antonio's put that correct. Rosa, yeah, Tatiana, all getting those correct. So this is a set phrase. At some point or another. It means, yeah, at some point in my life, at some point or another. Yeah, okay. So what are we looking for here? Yeah, so you can see collocations, set phrases, slight differences in meaning. For example, in number 2, where we have spectators and observers and supporters and viewers, where they all, you know, they all kind of mean the same thing, but we would use them in different contexts. So this is very much looking at vocabulary. Okay, so on your handout, I'm going to send it one more time in the chat because I know we've got a few new people here. So please check the chat. I'm sending it one more time in the chat, guys. There's the PDF. Okay, I've sent it in the chat again. So I'm going to put you into groups. I'm going to put you into groups for about 10 minutes. And you're going to look at the second one. So in your groups, please talk about it. Put your cameras on, talk to each other. You have another one here. All right. So just to kind of clarify what's going on here. So use of English part 1, 8 gaps. You got to choose the correct one. Before you try and look at the gaps, make sure that you read the whole text first. Yes, so at least you know what it is about. Look at the words before and after the gap. So as I mentioned, collocations, fixed expressions, commonly confused words. So this is when we have words that are very similar. No? Okay, guys, so on the PDF, please now have a look at the second activity, which is about staycations. And I'm going to put you into groups for 10 minutes only, and I want you maybe less. I'll see when I come around the groups. If we finish earlier, no problem. So have a look at that in the chat, guys. I'm going to put you into groups. Put your cameras on, talk to each other when you're in your groups. Okay. Yeah. Does everybody have the PDF? All right. Jonathan has it. Does anybody not have the PDF? Okay, nobody's talking to me. 4 people are talking to me. Thank you, Chris and Maria Elena. Okay, guys. Well, I have to presume you have the PDF. Yeah, please, in your groups, do put your cameras on, talk to each other. Yes, it's a group activity. So off you go into your groups. Okay, groups of 3 or 4. Off you go into your groups. If there's a problem, put your hand up. Like maybe some of your group people don't come. But off you go into your groups, make sure you've got the PDF. So you're doing the one about staycations. Yeah, the activity about staycations. It's still use of English part 1. Guys, if you just come in, I'm going to send the one more time in the chat.
So
Please take.
I were working in my mobile phone, so
Okay. Are you already in a group then? Because it just says user. I don't know who you are. Are you in? Yeah. Yeah. Can you go into your groups, guys? Please go into your groups. You need to go into your groups. Please accept to go into your groups. So sorry, the lady, you're called user. Who are you? Do you have are you in on 2 devices?
yeah, my phone is not working correctly, so I tried to switch my device.
Okay, but what's the other device called?
Is Gabriela Yanchatipan.
Okay, I'm going to put you into the same room then, I think.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, guys. So Antonio, Susana, Abby, Stefania, everybody, I need you to go to your groups. Antonio, can you go to your group? Yeah,
Yes,
guy.
yes, one moment, please.
Abby, Mary, Sonia. Oh, God. Hi, Rolando. Which group were you in? Rolando, which group were you in?
I'm so sorry. The thing that I have a problem with the internet service, but I'm just
Yeah.
connecting again. So in
Yeah.
what group can I be in?
Were you already in a group before or not?
No, no. But before I got before getting disconnected, I didn't get any group.
No problem. No problem. I'll send you to a group now. No problem. Okay. Okay. Hello. Okay. Let's get some answers for the staycation. All right, let's have a look at these. Okay. Again, we can, I just want to go through these kind of quickly so we can move on. But this one, I was listening to, I mean, I went around all of the rooms very, very quickly and I heard some of your answers. They were mostly correct. So I'm just going to very quickly go over these. So the first one, the word is formed by, I mean, you can tell me if you want. Number one, the word is formed by combining. Yeah, combining. Combining. We combine two things together. Combining the word stay with, because we combine, we have to look at words like this, no? Yeah.
Combined with.
Formed by combining the word stay with vacation, forming this neologism, staycation. Two, it
remains.
It does remain. It remains a popular choice. Yeah. For example, again, this is looking at the verb patterns as well. I mean, if with continues, we'd have to say it continues to be a popular choice. Yeah. Lasts and endures just don't fit. Continues would fit. It kind of makes sense, but the grammar is wrong for that. So this is something that we have to look out as well. Look out for as well. So it remains a popular choice for people wanting to spend their time away from work or education, giving them the same
Feeling.
Good. Feeling of rest and relaxation without the need to spend large amounts of money, etc. Number 4, I think everybody got this correct. For tourist, what? What do we talk about? Tourist attractions. Yeah, collocations, no? Words that are commonly found together. That's what we call these. So collocations, tourist attractions, That being said, a staycation isn't necessarily the most
appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate choice of holiday for everyone.
Yeah.
For many people, the whole
Point.
the whole point of a holiday. No point, yeah. It's like, what's the point? It's like, what is the purpose? Why am I doing it? The whole point of a holiday is to visit towns and cities. Remember, this is British, no? So when we're talking about holiday, we're talking about vacations, not like a holiday doesn't mean Christmas, it means vacation. So the whole point of a holiday is to visit towns and cities in other countries. 7, critics also argue that people find it difficult to
Separate.
Yes. You separate yourself from. Again, we need to look at how it's being used. Separate themselves
I have
from.
a question. Could it be also distinguished or not?
No, I mean, here it's talking about if I can separate myself from my work. You can distinguish people from, like if I want to distinguish one person from another person, the grammar is the same, but it's got a slightly different meaning. It distinguishes when you try and see like different people, no?
Excuse me.
And in which context do you use split yourself?
If you split yourself, you are cutting yourself in two.
That was my question. I want to know the difference between a split and separate.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe a split is for food, no? A split banana.
But we do have a banana split. But if you split yourself, it's literally that you're cutting yourself into two. Sometimes we say that, oh, I wish I could split myself in two so I can be in two places. It's impossible to split yourself. It will be very painful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then number 8. So for example, it can be, I nearly said, it can be
Tempting.
tempting, tempting. Yeah, so there's always the temptation is there, no, to check your emails. And this is true. If you're at home, you might check your emails. Okay, guys, this is part 1. We've done 2 activities looking at part 1. We've done 2 activities looking at part 1. So any questions?
Catherine, yes, I have a question. What's the main difference between point and the aim?
Well, I mean, often is the, I mean, aim is the goal, no? I mean,
Yes.
here, the point of this is kind of like the goal, but if you look, where is it? Number 6. Yeah. The whole
Yeah.
aim of a holiday. I mean, it's more, here it's more talking about the purpose. Why are you doing it? Not kind of like, I mean, the goal is like the end goal. I mean, aim is like, sorry, aim and goal are very similar, no? But yeah, it's like, you know, why am I going on holiday? To visit towns and cities. I suppose your aim would be to relax, you know, maybe your kind of your final goal or aim. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Part 1. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to part 2 because there's a lot to get through. So part 2 is similar, but you don't have any choices. There's no multiple choice. On your handout and on my screen here, these tips where it says gap 1, gap 2, gap 3, you don't get that in the exam. This is just for today, right? So in the exam, there are no tips. Let's have a look at 1, 2, and 3 here. Look at these tips. So this is about a sea anemone. Oh, it's so difficult to pronounce that word. A sea anemone. Oh, why did I don't know why they put this in the FC book. It's so it's so difficult to pronounce. All right. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so you may think it's easy to tell the difference. So here, the first sentence is comparing plants and animals. You know, we have this expression to tell the difference. This is kind of Rolando. This is kind of like distinguish, like you were talking about before. So, what preposition do we use?
Between.
Between. It's between. You may think it's easy to tell the difference between. Yeah. Guys, I've given you, everybody's got a PDF. I know, I'm sorry you can't write on the PDF, but make sure that you open up a Word document and that you're writing your answers, no? So number 1, it's you may think it's easy to tell the difference between a plant and an animal. After all, an animal can move, whereas plants remain something they are. Look at the clue. Gap 2. Look at the clue for gap 2.
Maybe it's in the way they are.
What relative pronoun refers to location? These are only one word. Plants remain, they are. Plants
Where they are.
Where they are. Where they are. Plants remain where they are. Yeah. However, it's not quite that simple. Okay, so number 3, some species show characteristics not. Okay, and this is why it's important to read before and after, because we've got not something of plants, but also, you know, you need to look at the whole phrase. Don't stop at the gap. Continue after the gap to see what's coming after it as well, no? Because the clue is after the gap here. So, so this is called a correlative conjunction. So these are pairs of conjunctions that link things. So we've got the phrase, Not something, but also. Not but also. So some species show characteristics not of plants, not beep of plants, but also of animals.
Not only.
Not only of plants, but also of animals. Yeah. Again, these are kind of little linking expressions. All right. So so part 2, right? Look at these words: prepositions, linkers, relative pronouns, articles, not here, but that's, these are the kind of words. So part 2 is grammar words, all these little grammar words. It's really checking your grammar, is this one. Articles, conjunctions, linkers, pronouns. I've said pronouns, but relative pronouns and other pronouns, referencing words in general, referencing words like these and this and there, and these are all referencing words. Auxiliary verbs, this kind of thing is what we get in part 2. Have a look then, everybody. Have a look at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Have a look at the others, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sorry. Yeah, don't tell me yet. Yeah, we're just going to want everybody to think about it first, and then we'll get some ideas together.
For is if.
Okay, let's get all of the answers first. I'm going to give everybody another couple of minutes, and then we'll have a look at the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a couple of people are putting answers in the chat. All right, let's have a look at these together. So I am getting some answers through in the chat. So number 4, a couple of people are giving me the correct answer. So even though, yeah. So look out for these things. It's a linker, even though it's often thought to be a plant. It is in fact an animal. Yeah. Even though linkers are very common here. So even though, oh, sorry, I've got terrible handwriting. Even though the sea anemone is often thought to be a plant. Sea anemones usually attach themselves. Did anybody give me the answer to that one?
To themselves to rocks.
Sorry, say that again.
Themselves to. No.
I would say yes. Was that you, Antonio?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It could seem as usually attach themselves to, or no, or it could also be, Antonio is correct. It could also be onto. Or just to. They're both okay. Yeah. Attach themselves on rocks. No, onto or to, I like. Yeah, good. So they attach themselves, you know, they attach themselves onto rocks. But they can usually move around, albeit very slowly. That means that albeit means they can move around, but they do it very slowly. Okay, number 6, they can grow. Yes, people in the chat, you are correct. Up to, up, yes, I mean up is the, yeah. This is always only one word. Did I say that before? No, it's just always just one word. So up, you're correct, yeah, because we have this expression, they can grow up to 2 meters. What does that mean? Yeah, that's it. So it's the maximum, no, 2 meters, but it could be less. It could be less. Yes. And then number 7.
Could it be a spite?
It could be, and you are correct. Yes, it's another linker. Absolutely. Because again, and you can see that we have like this contrast of ideas, no? So they, you know, they look pretty, they are gentle, they look like flowers, but they're predators. Yeah. So in spite of their gentle flower-like appearance, so in spite of, no, like despite, in spite of the gentle flower-like appearance, they are actually predators. This actually, remember, it doesn't mean actualmente, does it? It means, it's emphatic, no? Actually, de hecho, son predators. Okay, and then number 8.
They wait for fish.
They wait for fish. And yes, in the chat, you are correct, Sonia. They wait for fish. So again, you can see part 2, the types of words that we're getting here. No, we are getting prepositions, prepositions, but as part of phrases, but also prepositions as part of phrasal verbs. We are getting, I mean, wait for, it's not really a phrasal verb, it's an independent preposition. So lots of prepositions. No? We have got linkers. I've got an even though, I've got an in spite. Yeah. Yeah, referencing words, pronouns, relative pronouns, the grammar words. So this is the use of English part 2. So you can see, yeah, just to give you, just so you know what you're looking for. You know, now, well, it's probably not going to be a noun here. It's probably going to be more like prepositions, relative pronouns, etc. You know, try and work it out here. Yeah. Here, this is the most important one here. It's usually these things: articles, that's another thing, auxiliary verbs, comparative, so it could be like than, yeah, or you know, the expression not as big as, it could be one of these little, you know, just check, is it part of a comparative? Modals, prepositions, relative pronouns, grammar. It's very much looking at grammar. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to take a break. You do have another one. This is in the PDF that I sent. But let's take a break. I'll give you the answers to that later, next week. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, but you have it on the PDF, guys. Remind me on Tuesday to give you the answers to it. Take a break, because we've got keyword transformations and word formations coming up. So take a break. Get some energy, get a coffee, whatever you need to keep going. See you in a bit.
Thank you.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
And let's continue. Give me a sign that you're here. Yeah, can we come back, everybody?
Hi again.
Hi. Yeah, it'd be nice to see some faces. Can have some cameras. Teachers, I don't know whether you're here or not.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Yeah. Has anybody got any cameras? I can only see Gabby. Now I can see Stefania. Hello, Antonio. You're back. All right. Thank you. I need to see some faces. Thank you. Hi, Diana. Okay. Let's continue. So now, the next activity, and this, somebody mentioned this at the beginning of the class. Who was it? I don't know if it was Rodrigo, was it? This is a part in the use of English where you are given a keyword. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, you're given these words here on the right. You can see here, particular, recent, enthusiasm, and we have to change them. This is what somebody mentioned right at the beginning of the session today. So again, we have some tips which you don't get in the exam, but for today we have tips for number 1, 2, and 3. First, though, my tip to you is first just read it. Don't worry about the gaps yet. Read it and tell me what is it about. Just kind of a quick read of it, teachers, before you look at the gaps. Don't worry about the gaps yet. Just take 2 or 3 minutes just to go through this and have a look. Just have a look at the meaning here. Yes, so first I'm asking you just to read it. Don't worry about the gaps yet. You must read the whole text first, okay? Okay, teachers, so you can see this is about eating pufferfish. Yeah. It's got another name. It's got the word fugu as well. Okay. All right. So I've got a couple of answers already in the chat for number 1, but you can see I just want to explain what happens in this part of the test. So you have the word on the right. You have the words here. These do not change position. No, this word goes here. This word goes here. This word goes here. We're not changing the position of anything. We're just using the word that we are given and possibly changing it. Like I've got some examples for number one. Yes, let me just see. I've got a couple of people who put the answer in the chat already for number one, and you are all correct. Well, I've got a couple of different answers actually. Yes, Sonia, excuse me, recently. Yeah, so you were given the word, yeah, yes, thank you, Amelia. Yeah, we're given the word recent, but I need to put recently. Yeah, we need like the, and you can see the clue here. The form of the word needed, we need an adverb at the beginning, you know, like a sequence, an adverb here. And what suffix would we use? We would use ly. Yeah, so number one is recently. So recently, on a trip to Japan with friends, we came across a restaurant, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so this is eating this fugu or puffer fish, which you can see it's important that now this is the reason why it's important to read it. We need to know the context. Yeah, he told us that it contains enough poison to kill 30 people, one of the most dangerous animals in the world. So admittedly, I wasn't as, yes, Sonia, enthusiastic. I wasn't as enthusiastic as. Now, again, we've got the phrase here. No, we've got the phrase as. I know that here in the middle, I need an adjective. Yeah. So I wasn't as enthusiastic as. Yeah. Yeah, good. Enthusiastic as. Number three, I have a tip as well. Yeah, the answers are in the chat. No, this is, you can write these down. So number two is enthusiastic. Number three, the clue. So here we need a suffix. What suffix is used? Oh, what did you think for number two?
I would say harmless.
Harmless.
All right. This is where, Lily, it cannot be healthy or sure. We have to use the word harm. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Many people, it's okay, Lily. You don't have to apologize. I'm just making sure you know what you're doing. All right. This is where it's very important to look at the context. I don't know who said it. Was that you, Rodrigo? So yeah. So the guide reassured me. As long as the preparation is carried out carefully, it is delicious and it can't be delicious and harmful. Yeah. It's got to be harmless. Yeah, harmless. Does anybody put that? Everybody's putting harmful. Yeah, because that is probably the most common word, but no, we've been reassured. It's not going to reassure us and go, no, don't worry, it's delicious and harmful. No, it's delicious and harmless.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I've cleared all of the ink. Sorry. So number three, teachers, harmless. Yeah. Context is super important. Don't just look at the word. Okay. We have no more clues. Yeah, that's the end of the clues for us now. All right. So let's have a look. So the pufferfish gets its name from its ability. And again, yeah, I've got a couple of answers in the chat that were correct. So its ability again, so I need a noun. How do I know I need a noun? Well, I mean, here, this here, there's no apostrophe here. It's not it is, it's possession, no? Yeah, so its ability, like his ability or her ability, its ability. Yeah. Its ability to increase its size to look like a large spiky ball. Okay, number five, it can grow to more than 60 centimeters in This
Length.
one is
Length.
yes. It is length,
Length.
and we have to be careful how we spell length. How do we spell length? L-E-N-G-T-H, no? Because it's length. Yeah, in length, depending on the species, and it's okay, good. All right, number 6. So, although pufferfish taste revolting, revolting means disgusting, no? To other fish,
Why?
humans have been consuming them for many years, and therefore the dangers are
Widely.
widely, yeah, widely known, widely known. Even though I knew fugu chefs were fully trained, even though, that's a clue. I was, all right, so we have here, I was. So I know that I'm going to need an adjective, no?
I was awareness.
I need an
I was a
adjective.
word.
I was
With
working.
the at the
Was
end.
No.
The at the end. A word.
No,
With the at the
no,
end? No?
no.
Aware.
Okay, but was he aware? Even though, this is where again context is important.
Even though
So even though
I was afraid.
I have to use the word aware. I have to use from the same word family, no? I think I've almost got it. Gabby, tell me your final answer, Gabby. Gabby, you put some things in the chat. Tell me. Sorry?
I was afraid.
Awareness.
I can't hear. All right. I was unaware. No, I was unaware. Okay, we have the expression to be aware. Yeah, but here he was unaware. Look, even though I knew they were trained, I didn't know that poisons still happen. That's what this sentence means here, no? So even though I knew that they were trained, I didn't know that people still got poisoned. I was unaware of the fact. Mm-hmm. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right. Oh, again, it's easier when somebody shows you. But again, this is kind of like the harmless. This is another one where you really do need to understand the context. No, yeah. So just be aware of that. All right. So I was unaware of the fact that poisoning still happened every year. Okay. Number 8. This unsurprisingly didn't make me feel at. This is an expression. At what? At
ease.
At ease. At ease. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel at ease. Teachers, what do we need to think about here? We need to know prefixes. There are not many. There are no prefixes here, are there? There are no prefixes here. Suffixes, less, itty, all of this. Oh, no, sorry, that we do have a prefix, so prefixes and suffixes is very important. Yeah. So whenever when you learn new vocabulary, make sure you know how do you make the negative. If you have the word you have the word polite, how do you make the negative? It's impolite. So you need to make sure that you're whenever you write down a new word, look it up in the dictionary and find out, how do I make the negative? Does it have a verb form? Does it have a noun form? Write down all the different parts of speech. What's happened to my camera? Write down all the different parts of speech. Yeah. There's a couple of others, for example, long, words like long, length, strong, strength, wide, width. Yeah, so there are some words where we have like these internal changes as well. Most of the time we're talking about suffixes and prefixes, no? But when you're reading this, you need to think, what type of word do I need? Yeah, what do I need? Do I need a noun? Do I need a verb? Do I need an adjective? Do I need an adverb? If it's an adjective, is it positive or negative? Yeah, you need to understand the context as well, like with the harmless and the unaware examples. Okay. All right. You have another one in your here. Oh, sorry, it's coming. You have another one to check. Actually, guys, I'm going to do this activity with you. I'm going to do this activity, and then you've got one more that you can do at home. So these here, again, this is a little bit different. Here, I've given you the answer, but correct the mistakes that the candidate has made. These are all these are not correct. What should they be? The number of people, number one, attending the festival has increased significant. They've made absolutely no change there. What should it be?
Significantly.
Significantly. Exactly. We need, yeah. So I need to think, you know, what type of word do I need? Of course, I have a verb, therefore I need an adverb. If I have an adjective, I need an adverb. You know, adverbs qualify verbs, they qualify adjectives. 2. Okay. They've, you know, they've taken the word like, they've made it negative, and I do need a negative. I need a negative adjective here. What do I need? Yes, Susanna. Correct. I need to say the festival is unlike any other celebration in the city. It means that it is different to all the other celebrations. No, it is not the same. It is not like, yeah. Dislike means I don't like. Unlike means it is not like. Can you see the difference? Stop me, ask me questions if you need to. Yeah, I'm here. All right. Okay, I'm going to go on if there's no questions. Number 3, what's the problem? So one of the reasons for the continued success of the museum is the organizers. Sorry?
Ability.
Ability.
In a village.
Ability.
Mhm.
Ability. And it's actually similar to the one that we've just had. We've got a possessive S, you know, so of course I'm going to need a noun after this. Yes. Okay, good. 4, this is just one example of the many. What mistake did they make here? Exactly. Yes, in the chat, those are the correct answers. Just check the spelling. No, but if it's a noun, check. This needs to be plural, no? Oh, I'm sorry, I keep sneezing. Possibilities. Ooh, possibilities. Plural. Yeah. It says many. It's plural. 5. Although profitable, the event has proven to be
unpopular.
Sorry, Antonio, say that again.
Unpopular.
Yeah, and again, this is yes, again, a couple of people in the chat. Thank you, Sonia, Susanna. And again, this kind of it tells me that I've got a contrast, no? Although it was profitable, it was actually unpopular. Yeah, so I need an adjective, but I need the negative form of it. 6. Many of the attendees thought that it was a really, again, I'm getting answers in the chat there. Yeah, Yeah, all of those answers are correct in the chat. Enjoyable. An enjoyable. I need the adjective because I'm describing an experience, no, an enjoyable experience. Okay, there was number 7. There was a variety. Again, of course, this is a clue, no? This is definitely a clue that I'm going to need a noun. Although she says, although not always, it depends what's going to come afterwards. You know, it could be a something plus noun, but yeah, a variety of beautiful paintings. And then finally, number 8, all of the solutions turned out to be let me just check the spelling of variety. Sorry, I'm just going to move on. Variety. Yeah. Check the spelling. Sorry, number 8 is
Successful.
so wait. It's going to be no. It's going on to okay. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Okay, this is a tricky word to spell. I've got 2 C's, 2 S's, 1 F, 1 L. It's a tricky one. So unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Unfortunately, if you spell it incorrectly, you won't get any points. So check your spelling. Check your spelling. Yeah. What do you think of this one? This is a nice activity, no? Don't you think? This is my favorite. I like this one. All right. Okay. So again, on your handout, you have one more that you can try at home. Yeah. Yeah. So you have this one. I'm not going to do it now. It's about snow bombing. Snow bombing. Okay. So that brings us now to the last part of the use of English. Remember, there's only 4 parts. What's the final part of the use of English? I think this one's my favorite, actually. What's the last part? Gabby, did you say something? Oh, sorry. All right. The last part is the keyword transformations. Now, these are important because they are worth 2 points. Let's have a look at these. Again, I'm going to do a couple of activities with some tips and some clues, and then we'll do one without tips and clues. So you can see these have got tips. Of course, in the exam, we don't have tips. Today, we have tips. So this is what happens in this part of the test. They give you a sentence. They give you, why is it not working there? They give you a word. In this case, they're giving me the word by, and they give you a second sentence. So this is called keyword transformations because you have to use that word, you have to use the keyword by, and you have to transform the second sentence so that it has the same meaning. Yeah. There's a tip here. All right, so the first one, a friend recently asked me if I fancied going to the cinema. We've got the word by. What grammar structure do we often use with the word by? I mean, of course, not always, but what is a typical grammar structure with the word by?
I think it's going to be using like the passive voice.
You are correct. Was that you, Jackie? Yeah, you are
Yes.
correct. Yeah, hi. Yes, it is. Yeah, so she's correct. So often we use the passive with by. So I was asked by a. Yeah, is that correct? I was asked by a. Those are the missing words. Yeah. Yeah, those are correct in the chat. In the chat. Do I need the word a or not? We do need the word a. Okay, so here so the missing words in the exam, this is all you need to write on the paper, was asked by Okay. Number 2. It's normal for me.
I used to spend.
No, I used to means you did it in the past and you don't do it anymore. This is a tricky one. This grammar's tricky because people have okay. Again, so here not getting the right. I'm not getting. Okay, what?
Normal for me to spend.
Yeah. So a lot of money, a lot.
No, pues qué tonto que pongo. Yes, I am used to.
Sorry, are you? You're not talking to me, are you? No. Okay, so a lot of money going to see the latest blockbuster. A lot of money going to see the latest blockbuster. I suppose you've got the I and the me. So the piece that I need to transform is it's normal for me to spend, and I have to use
Sorry,
the use.
teacher, my microphone was open. I think that the answer is the grammar structure is be used to because it's normal. Okay, so it could be I am used to, and the verb is in the passive. In past participle.
Okay, so you are correct that it is to be used to. What to be used to means that it is normal for me. So he's correct. I am used to. What happens after this expression, after this structure? What happens to the verb? Sorry, I haven't checked the chat. I don't have a correct answer in the chat. Yeah, people who, if you're putting I used to spend is like yo solía gastar, pero ya no. Yo sabía gastar. It's different. That's in the past. Yeah, if we're talking about the present, I am used to, this means it's normal. I'm used to spending, ing. People don't like that because I have a to and an ing, but I promise it's correct. I am used to spending a lot of money. Okay, number 3, I prefer watching films again. So we have to work out exactly what are we being asked to do? What do I need to transform? So I've got performing them, I. So the bit that I need to transform, prefer watching films. And I have rather. This, yes, Susanna. Okay, but yes. So Tatiana and Susanna, you would get 1 point for that. You have to continue because what you have both done, you've got this part, prefer. Yeah, we've also got to get the watching films, no? So I would rather continue. This is only half of it. Okay. Watch. Continue. This is still not complete, no? I would rather watch. I would rather watch performing them. I would rather watch. No, I would rather watch is okay. I would rather watch what? This is incorrect still. Or it's incomplete.
Films.
Okay. I would rather watch films.
Than.
I would rather watch films than perform. Now it's correct. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I like keyword transformations, but I think people actually find this one the most difficult part of the test.
Sorry,
So,
teacher, can you explain me again the sentence? I can't understand how to make the sentence. I have some troubles with it.
number 3.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so we have the expression, I would rather. I would rather. Would rather means the same as prefer. Yeah, but with would rather, I need the verb in the infinitive, not the ing. I would rather. It means I would prefer, or I prefer. It means exactly the same. It has exactly the same meaning as the first sentence. So I would rather watch films than performing them. It means I prefer watching films to performing them. So for me, it's better to watch a film. I like watching films. I don't like performing in them.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I would rather. I'd rather. I mean, all of you teachers, you're probably thinking, oh, right now, I would rather be watching a television than doing keyword transformations. Just an example. Yeah, I would rather be on the beach than, I don't know. Okay. So these are the keyword transformations. Of course, you don't get any tips. So let's have a look. Again, you've got it on the PDF that I sent. You have, this is what you get. These are the instructions, so it's I think there are actually 6 in the exam. I don't know. Here we've only got 5. On the next activity, there are 6. So this is what you need to do. So complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning. I would say the same meaning. Yeah, the same meaning or very, very similar to the first sentence. Using the word given, using these words. This word you can not change. Don't confuse it with part 3. We're not changing these. Even is always going to be even. Yeah, came is always going to be changed. We are not changing these words. Do not change the word given. We're going to use between 2 and 5 words. Let's go into groups. I'm going to put you into groups, guys, to do this. So just these 5 activities here. Yeah. Does everybody have the PDF? Nobody's come in. Nobody has not got it. Does that make sense? All right. So on your PDF, it's not the final activity. So on the PDF, you are on page 7. On page 7, there are 2 activities. Just do the one at the top. Yeah. So the first one, the one that we've just looked at. So page 7, at the top of page 7, you're going to do that activity, please, with your group. Everybody has that? I'm going to put you into groups, guys. 10 minutes. Do your best. Now, don't forget that you get 2 points for these, but you can also, if you get it half correct, you can get 1 point. Okay, I'm just sending it again in the chat. There's a couple of people that came in late. So B2 use of English. You need to go, Jonathan, you need to go right to the last page. It's the same one that I sent before, no? It's got 7 pages as the document that I sent. So we've gone on to the final page. All right, so page 7, the first activity on page 7, talk to your group, off you go. Hang on a minute. There you go, guys. 4 of you in each group. Help each other. Do your best. 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, if you can get into your groups. Continue report. Let's have a look at this last activity together. Okay, are we all back? I think we're all back. Okay, so this is the keyword transformations. Yeah, this is the last part of the use of English paper, the use of English, the use of English sections. No, so keyword transformations. So you get 6 sentences, as you only had 5 right now, but normally there are 6. The one wording in the capital letters. We're completing the second sentence, so that it has the same meaning as the first one. All right, so as I was doing before, it is a good idea to underline the words in the first sentence which correspond to the gap, so you know exactly which part of the sentence. Yep, it's okay. So you know exactly which part of the sentence you need to transform. No, think about how the key word is commonly used. For example, we had the word even. We often use it in even though, you know. Okay, all right. So let's have a look at these. So as I said, in the exam, it really is a good idea to highlight, you know, which part. So we went to the open air concert, cold. We went to the open air concert, cold. Even though the weather was.
Please, can you give us an
Even
example?
though.
The weather was.
Yeah.
Even though.
Even though the weather was cold.
Yeah. Even though, and yes, you're correct. Even though the weather was cold. Even though it was cold, or even though the weather was. Yeah. So remember, yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to change my answer. All right, I'm going to add. So even though it was cold, or even though the weather was cold. Is that correct? Have we gone over? Even though the weather was, we're okay because we're only allowed 5 words. Yeah. Even though the weather was. Yeah. Don't write anything else. Don't write the word cold. Just write the missing words. Okay. Number 2, the words that we need to transform, or sorry, I mean the words that go in the gap is this bit, no? Yeah, because I already have the director, everyone in the play. So it's so, and with up, what could this be?
Look up
Look up
on.
to.
Look up on.
Looked up to. Yes. If you got that correct, good. Looked up to. Yeah, and like I said, I said this to a couple of people when I was going around the teams. No, here is in the past, keep it in the past. Unless there is a real reason for changing the tense, like sometimes we might change a past simple to present, but well, you know, there might be an occasion when you need to, but otherwise keep the tenses the same. Okay, Luke.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Respect up. Respect up is correct. Respect up. Is that a phrasal verb?
Respect up.
Yeah. Is that a phrasal verb? No.
No. Look up is a phrasal verb, or rather look up to.
Respect up? No.
No. Just we just respect. I mean, yeah. In this phrase here, it's respect is a noun, no, because they have the respect of, but otherwise everyone respected the director. Everyone looked up to the director. So no, Anton, you're not respectable. Okay, number 3. Luke had not expected the film to be so good. Better.
The film was much better. Luke had expected.
Say that again, Rolando. Luke.
The film was much better than Luke had expected.
Did you say the word than? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't put the word much in there, but yeah. So the film was better than.
Better than. Yes.
Was better than. If you put much, would it be okay? I'm going to say yes. It would be okay. I'm going to say.
Okay.
Well, for me, it would be okay. Who knows? The guys in Cambridge. But for me, it's fine. Okay. All right. Number 4 was giving people problems. All right. So we didn't go to the cinema because of the train cancellation. The train cancellation
prevented for us to go to the concert.
No.
To the cinema.
Prevented us.
Prevented us. It's a transitive verb. You have to prevent somebody. So prevented us.
And why is not for us?
Because it's the verb pattern. We need to know different verb patterns. So with prevent, it's prevent plus the direct object. With no, yeah. So prevented us. Now in the chat, I think that is also correct. Odalis.
Go
to the cinema.
No. We need the ing. I mean, I've got my answer is prevented us from going. Prevented us from going to the cinema. But somebody in the chat, just one second. I'll answer your question in a moment. Prevented us going, to the cinema. Yeah, what's your question?
Well, I had 2 possible answers for this question. It was prevented us going or prevented us to go. Why not to go? Prevented us to go.
Again, it's about verb patterns. Yeah, different verbs take different verb patterns.
I guess that the thing is that some verbs take the ing form and some other verbs don't take it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's different verbs have different verb patterns. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. So with the word prevent, usually it's prevent somebody, us, from doing something.
Something. ing.
Yeah. So it's verb patterns. Verb patterns are important. And and I know there are so many of them, and it's a matter of learning them. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, and then finally, there were very few people at the book club last night. We're going to use the word came. Okay, that's not so bad, but we have to use the word hardly as well. Hardly.
It was a tricky one.
Okay, all right. Those 2 answers in the chat, they are both different answers. Hardly any people came to. Yeah, Antonio, you're okay. You've got 5. Oh, hang on, but I'm counting. Yeah, without the word hardly, no, because hardly's already here. Hardly any people came. Hardly any people came, or hardly anyone came. Those are both correct. I put hardly anyone came. Hardly anyone. Hardly anyone. Casi nadie. Very few.
And an option could be anybody came, or is not an option?
Hardly anybody instead of anyone is okay. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that is fine.
So in this type of questions, you have more than an answer, right?
I mean, sometimes there are different options. Yeah, it's true. But the different options are always on the answer in the answer key, no? So there's if there are different options, then it's there.
How many times we have to do this question in a real test?
How long?
Yes.
Right. So
but this is not a question.
Long.
This is an exercise.
Yeah, this is just one exercise. Okay, I'm just going to go back a moment to answer that question, but I'll come back in a moment, Tatiana. So we're going to finish. You've got another one to do. I am just going to give you the answers next week. I will put all of this answers onto a document and send it to you. Yeah. I can also give them to the guys at Bestseller if you need. So try these activities at home. Okay. This, just to go back to Tatiana's question, it's a very good point. How long do you have? The answer is not very long at all, I think. Now, for all of this, now remember today, we only did parts 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is the use of English. This, which we're going to look at next week, this is the reading. And you've got, yeah, this is the use of English. For the use of English and the reading, you've got 1 hour and 15. That's, I think, is the biggest challenge here. And you'll see when we get to the reading that they are big, long texts. So we have to, I'm not doing this. You have to read quickly. All right. And bring it, just to kind of bring this to an end. Do you read? Does everybody read in English a lot? Because if the answer is no, anybody that shook their head, start doing it.
I have a question. Reading memes, it is also part of it. Does it include reading memes?
Does it read? Oh,
memes. No,
I don't think so.
You don't think
no.
so? Okay.
They have. I think you need to read something a little bit longer than that. Yeah, start reading articles, books. You really, really need to, and read actively. I don't mean just read and fall asleep. I mean, read, put it down, try and summarize it, ask yourself questions. You know, really do kind of start reading actively. It's the best thing you can do. Note down vocabulary, but not just words. Words on their own are kind of useless. Who needs words? We don't need words. We need phrases, chunks of language. You know, you can see in this use of English, it's not just about random vocabulary. It doesn't say, you know, how do I say, I don't know. It's not about single words, is it? Nothing is about words. It's all about words in context. You know what I mean? Okay.
Catherine, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you really think, like, if we have a book that it is supposed to be a B2 English book, or that one belongs to that level, you really think that if we read that book from the beginning to the end, we understand everything, we can get the B2 level just by reading a book like that, or not?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, you know, reading will help you enormously with your vocabulary, and it will help you to become quicker at reading. Obviously in the B2 exam, there's more than just reading. No, we do need the, you know, the listening and the speaking and the writing as well. So I'm going to say no, Rolando. No, you need to do other things as well, but it will help, and it will help you with the reading paper. All right, teachers, I'm going to let you go. So thank you very much. Again, if you want to just put your name in the chat, put your name in the chat, guys, like you did the other day, just as a record. Somebody tried to come into my Zoom room on Wednesday. Remember that we only have classes on Tuesday and Thursday. So next week, Tuesday and Thursday, 6:15 to 8:15, right? So have a good weekend. I'll just...
Thank you very much, Catherine. Please
right.
don't forget to give us the link in order to watch this lesson again. Thank you.
Sure, I will do. Will do.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. See you. Have a good weekend.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Okay, Belen. Noted. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. See you. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend too.